it in the chat for me. Drop it in the chat for me. How are we doing this evening? Let me see it. Let me see it. How are we doing this evening? Let me go ahead. Hello, hello, Debbie, Sylvia, Imani. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. I'm so excited to see y'all for day 2. I hope y'all are just as ready as I am. I hope y'all are just as ready as I am. Y'all, this morning, if you were here with us this morning, you already know what it was like. All right? You already know what it was like. It wasn't no surface level motivation. All right? It was honesty. And I hope you guys took some time this morning to be honest with yourself and recognizing what and who can't come with you into the next season of your life, right? Tonight, though, we take that awareness and we're turning it into action, because clarity without movement doesn't change anything. So you may have sat there and you may have started going through your contacts and be like, oh, this person got, we all know that person. Word said it earlier. You look at your phone, you be like, not this one again. Right? So mindset without strategy will also eventually become frustration. Okay? This evening is where decisions are going to start getting the structure. Over the last 2 days, you started making decisions. You started making decisions about who needs to be removed from your life, what needs to be removed from your life, what you need to sacrifice. You made the decision to be here, to be present, right? This is where intention starts to turn into execution. And it's also where a lot of people will start to finally see what's been missing. And it's not because they weren't trying hard enough, not because they didn't have the framework or have the tools accessible. Now, as we move through tonight's lesson, I want you to pay attention to something very specific, though. And not just to understand it, but what you're unsure about, because we have Q&A later on. All right? There's always going to be that moment when something clicks. But as soon as something clicks, a question is going to follow right after it. All right? And that moment, and I've told you guys this before, that moment matters. That moment matters. So at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, in 1 hour, we are going to be hosting our live Q&A inside the VIP room only. And that space is where you don't have to guess, interpret, or second guess yourself. I know a lot of you were flooding the chat yesterday in YouTube with questions. This is your chance. This is your chance to get into VIP. All right? It's never too late. This is where you can get clarity in real time and ask the question that you wanted to ask yesterday. You put it in the YouTube chat, but you couldn't get the answer because you weren't in the room. This is a time to make sure you're applying what you're learning. All right. So if you're not VIP yet, the team is going to drop a link for you. And it's not pressure, but it's an option for those who already know they don't want to do this alone. You want the support. And then one last thing before we go ahead and get started, because presence matters too. We're running another engagement contest, y'all. This evening, we are running another engagement contest. So at the end of today's session, we'll drop a link to a short trivia quiz, and it's going to be based directly on what's taught tonight. You'll have 5 to 10 minutes to complete it. So I need y'all to pay attention. Paying attention this evening is not optional. It's not optional. All right? And just as yesterday, the first 2 people to answer every question correctly will win $50 cash prize. And y'all already know, bragging rights. But the real reward isn't going to be the money. It's going to be the clarity. All right? Because if you're paying attention and you're able to answer those questions, that means that the information is starting to settle in for you. All right. The people who win are always the ones who are fully attentive, who are fully here. So take notes, stay present, and let tonight be the moment where things stop being theoretical for you. Stop being a guessing act and it starts to become practical. All right. So who's ready? I need y'all to go ahead and drop it in the chat. I need y'all to go ahead and drop it in the chat for me, please. Who is ready? Who is ready for day 2? Let's see it. Let's see it. Who is ready? All right. All right. Well, we are going to go ahead and we're going to get the lesson started. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring up day 2 with Miss Paris.
Good evening, my beautiful people. All right, y'all. It's day 2. It is day 2. All right. Now, I want y'all to put in the chat, I'm ready to learn. Put in the chat, I am ready to learn. And I need y'all to flood it. I'm looking at the chat right now. Okay. I'm looking at the chat right now. All right. I want y'all to know that today is strategy day. Okay. Today's strategy day. And so I want y'all to pay close attention. Put your notebooks in the camera. I need to make sure y'all taking the, okay. I need y'all to put some note emojis in the chat. All right, so I'm going to be showing you guys the strategy that allowed me to fire my boss at 24 years old. We went over the millionaire's mindset. Okay, we talked about prepping our mind, planting those seeds. And y'all know the seeds that you have to plant: the discipline, the focus, the sacrifice. And just by planting these seeds, you will for sure reap a harvest that will absolutely blow your mind. So, since we have the foundation, we got the foundation set, let's go ahead and build it up from there, okay? Now, here's a fresh look to trading. Now, I know y'all think it's the Hollywood version where it's like super fast paced and it's people in suits and they on the floor. It's just chaos. Well, I want you to know that is not this, okay? First of all, you don't have to take huge risks because this trading strategy is very unique and it doesn't require that at all. Also, trading is not gambling. Now, trading is not gambling because we trade with strategy. Can y'all put strategy in the chat? Put strategy in the chat. So we're going to shift your perspective today, okay? We're going to shift it real quick. Now, this is probably what you envision, what comes to mind when it comes to trading. Y'all see the chaos? It's screens all over the place, people all over the place. They writing on paper. It's just a whole lot going on, right? Too much. But some of y'all might think of trading like this. You know, you got about 10, 11 screens. You got the charts on all the screens. You glued to your screen. You got all the indicators. It's just a whole lot going on. But what if I told you this is what you're going to learn tonight? This is how trading should be right here. Y'all see me? Chilling. I'm at the beach. Got my little laptop right there. Take me about 30 seconds to submit the trade. Now, if this is what you want, I want you to put in the chat, oh yeah. Put that in the chat. Put, oh yeah, in the chat. Okay? And now I have a question for y'all. I see y'all flooding. I have a question. Now, how many of y'all believe that the stock market income is something that you can actually enjoy, but when you're retired? Like your 401k, like you can't touch it right now, but when you retire, you can start enjoying it. So that means you working about 40, 50 years before you can enjoy, right? Well, baby, I got breaking news. I got breaking news. The stock income that you produce is for right now. Okay? It is for right now. And so the strategy that I'm teaching you guys tonight, it's all about letting it cook for a minute. Can y'all put in the chat, let it cook? Let it cook. Put let it cook in the chat. Okay? But soon, after you let that thing cook a little bit, you can pay your utility bills with the trading income. You can pay your car note. You can pay your rent, your mortgage. Your trading income is for right now. Okay? Let me tell y'all a little story. When I actually use my trading profits for the first time. Now, I was working at this time, and it was an early Monday morning. Money making Monday. It was my first ever trade. And the stock that I traded at the time was AMD, just one contract. Y'all gonna learn about all of this, contracts and all the lingo today. I traded one contract of AMD. My investment was $5,500. Now, just by me trading AMD one contract, I made $250. Now, the cool thing about the strategy is when you make the trade in less than 3 minutes, you make your profit. So your money is in the account. So what I did was I said, hold on now. Let me see if this is real. Because I couldn't believe it. First of all, it took no time. I had to make sure the money was in there, okay? So I called the Peoples, which is my broker, and I let them know. I said, can you just confirm that I made $250? And they said, Miss Smith, you did. So I said, I still don't believe you. So I took my debit card, okay? Took my debit card that the broker account gives to you, because it's like a bank, and I went to the gas station. And I swiped that mug. I just wanted to see if my car gets filled up with gas, and it did. And so I said, yo, you mean to tell me if I trade, I make the income the same day? Yeah, so we're going to break it down, okay? We're going to break it down. I'm going to show you exactly how to make an effortless income trading this strategy. Now, I want y'all to lock in. Can y'all put in the chat, lock in? Because we about to get into it, okay? All right. Okay. Now, here are some of the foundational principles. Now, I like to break this down because I feel like a lot of people get this mixed up way too much. So I'm going to break it down for you. Okay. What is trading? So trading produces income. Okay. Trading produces income. Well, investing builds wealth. So to make it easy, if you're writing this down, which you should, just put trading =income. Investing =wealth. Okay. So trading, all you're doing is buying and selling stock within a short period of time to make quick profits, right? Now, investing involves where you're buying an asset. So let's say a stock or two, and you letting that thing sit. For a little bit, and all it's going to do is grow in equity over time. So that's the difference. If you got it, say, I get it. Just put it in the chat. I need y'all to talk to me today. All right, let me move on. Okay, now, what is a stock? So a stock is a share of a company. I'm going to break it down for you. So let's say you enjoy Apple products, right? And so one share of Apple, which is the stock, costs $190.54. Now, just because you own one single share of Apple stock, you are now part owner of the company. You now own a piece of the company. Put in the chat. I get it. Just put it in the chat. Just put it in the chat. All right, let's move on. Now, I need y'all to lock in. Now, when it comes to this trading strategy, here are the 2 best index to find low risk stocks to trade. Okay, we have the Dow Jones on the left-hand side. Now, let me explain what the Dow Jones is, okay? Now, when you think about the Dow Jones 30, I want you to think about big money, like the largest companies a part of this index, okay? These are the most traded stocks. That's what I want you to think about when you hear Dow Jones 30, okay? Dow Jones 30 has a list of just 30 companies, okay? Now, S&P 500 on the right-hand side. Now, the S&P 500 has a list of 500 companies that's a part of this index, and still, these companies are popular. It's popular, but they're ranked a little different based on performance. But still, the Dow Jones 30 and the S&P 500 are the 2 best index that we look to find stocks to trade that's low risk. Now, here are the types of trading. Okay, I'm gonna break it down. Okay. Now you have the scalper. The scalper, you want to trade for maybe a couple seconds, less than a minute. You in and out. That's more so day trading. And then you have the day trader that's, has all the screens, just like a scalper. But a day trader, you're in multiple trades all day. You may be in a trade for longer than a minute or so. And then you're in and out. You take your profits, right? Okay. Now we have the swing trader. Now, the swing trader is where you are in a trade for about maybe 2-3 days. You in and out of trades, multiple trades a week, maybe about 2-3 days, or maybe a week, and you make your profits, right? But you make your profits at the end of the week if you are a swing trader. And then you have the position trader where they just 9-to-5 workers, but their job is to trade. Okay, now I want you to know that we don't do any of that. We don't do any of that. Okay, we don't do any of that. Now, the strategy that I'm teaching you guys tonight is called the cover call strategy. Now, this is exactly what I mastered. This is what I do weekly. This is my effortless income, my effortless, reliable income. Now, I have a proven strategy, okay? And I'm so excited to teach you all about it. We're going to dig in a little bit more. This is literally the strategy that I've received testimonials for. And so Carla says, I wasn't going to do it, but I rewatched the videos, jumped in, and made my first trade. She said, I felt confident and excited. Definitely a win for me. Can y'all say congrats, Carla? Put congrats, Carla, in the chat. That's what I want you to do. This is literally your future right here. Okay, we're going to claim it right now tonight. That's what we're going to do. And then we have a, Sana says, I went from confused by videos to currently earning $100 a week income using the cover call strategy. She says, this course made it simple. And now I have a clear wealth building plan that will continue to increase. Can y'all say increase? She said it will continue to increase my weekly income, and it just takes 2 minutes a week. It just takes 2 minutes a week. So let me give y'all my secrets. Okay, let me give y'all my secrets to my success. Now, the trading strategy is built on 3 components. I need y'all to write this down. It is super important, okay? 1, we have the cover call strategy. So we have strategy. Okay, that's one. Two, we have stock fundamentals. I need y'all to circle that thing about 3 good times. Go ahead, circle it 3 good times. And number 3, we have OPM, other people's money. And so let's go ahead and break that down. Let's break it down one by one. Now, the cover call strategy, this is the strategy that allowed me to piece out the 9 to 5. And so the strategy produces a consistent income. When I mean consistent, there is a range. If you pick a stock, right? You pick a stock, you decided this is the stock that you plan on trading every single week. When you trade that stock, it gives you a range. So let's say, for an example, when I first started trading AMD, it was $250 a week. Well, my range was either $250 or $255. One Monday is $250, the next Monday is $255. So when I say it produces a consistent income, a reliable income, that's what I mean. Now, covered calls are a weekly trade, a bi-weekly trade, or a monthly trade. But we only trade on Mondays. Okay, we only trade on Mondays. And all of the covered call trades expires on Friday. I want y'all to write that down. Okay, write that down. Circle Friday. Circle Friday. I want you to also know that in order for you to trade a covered call, you must own 100 shares of stock. Okay, keep that in mind too. And the cool thing is you make your profits the minute you place the trade. So we're not waiting until Friday when the expiration come around to see if we made our profit. When we click that submit button on Money Making Monday, that took us 30 seconds to fill out. Our profits is in our account, but under the cash column. Or if you got a debit card, it's on your debit card. Now, the key to this, okay, this is the key. The key is to find one stock. Okay, we're not dipping in and out of all these different companies. That gives day trading vibes. We don't want day trading vibes. We don't want day trading vibes. Pick one stock that you're going to trade every single week. That's how you also ensure that your income is consistent and reliable. The minute you start switching up and you trade in all these different companies, your income becomes inconsistent. Just follow me. Just follow me. Just follow me. Okay. Now I need y'all to put lock in the chat. And I'm going to take a pause right here. I'm going to let y'all go ahead, comment, lock in. Because we about to break down the cover call strategy. Okay? All right. Now, this is how it works. All right. Now, remember, in order for you to trade a cover call, you must own 100 shares of stock. So with this example, at the time of the screenshot, NEO stock price was $10.81. Okay? So that means your investment is $1,081. Okay? Now, when you trade a cover call, there is something called a premium. So the premium for NEO stock is 60 cents per share. But remember, you own 100 shares. So if we do the math, 60 cents times 100 shares gives us $60. So our profit per week is $60. Now we trade 4 times a month. So that gives us $240 of consistent monthly income. And that's just with one contract, with one stock. And all you're going to do is take your $1,081 that you made in investment, that's your initial investment, and we're going to use that same $1,081 to make our $240 rinse and repeat. Now, let's do a little math. Okay, let's do a little math. Now, let's say instead of one contract, which is 100 shares, let's say we trade 5. Remember, I told y'all I started with 5,500. Okay. Now, let's say we started with 5 contracts. So, what is our investment? What is 1,081 times 5? Somebody do the math for me. Somebody do the math for me real quick. $1,081 times 5 times 5. Okay, 5405. So 5,400, right? Okay. So that would be your investment, right? Now let's do some math. What is $60 times 5? Because we traded 5 contracts now. So $60 times 5. Somebody put that in the chat. 300? Cool. Okay, so just trading 5 contracts of NEO on a money-making Monday is $300. All right? Now, remember, we trade 4 times a month. 4 times a month, that is income consistently of $1,200. Can y'all put some fire flames in the chat for that? We didn't do nothing but press buttons. So we're going to use our $5,400. That's our initial investment. And we're going to rinse and repeat. We just recycling. We're going to use that same $5,400 and we're going to make that $1,200 every single month. If you get me, say, I get you. Just put it in the chat. Just put it in the chat. Okay, I see y'all. Okay. Now, the goal of cover calls. This is the goal. Okay, this is what you want. You want to make sure that the stocks that you choose is low risk. In order for cover calls to work, you have to make sure that the stock that you choose is low risk. Just write it down. You also want to make sure that the income, which is the premium, is predictable. You want to protect your investment. And I'm going to show y'all exactly how to make sure that the stock that you choose is low risk. Okay, so we aim for the lowest risk possible. And goal number 2, that's one. Goal number 2, the more shares that you own, the higher your income. Okay, the more shares that you own, the higher your income. That's the second goal of the cover call strategy. Now, the third goal, and I'm going to need y'all to write this down, circle it 5 times, and put some stars around it. Okay. Number 3, reinvest. Reinvest your profits and allow it to compound. Okay, that is extremely important. Just write it down. We're going to talk about it. Just write it down. Now, with these 3 components right here, this is how you build a consistent and scalable wealth strategy. All right, do y'all want to get into the fundamentals? If you're ready, put I'm ready. We about to go over how to make sure that the stock is a low risk stock, okay? I need y'all to lock in. All right, now, the fundamentals. All right, now, the stock that you choose matters. We talked about it. It has to be low risk. We're not in the business of risky. I can't do risk. I can't do it. So picking the right stocks is the foundation of low risk, high profiting trading, or we could say stocks, right? So here's how you do it right. Here's how you do it. Now, these stocks make the best trades, okay? We don't want the stocks that's too flashy. We don't want the stocks that's all in the news. We don't have time for that. We want stable. We want it to be predictable and profitable. So if there's a stock that's too volatile, that thing moving crazy every single day, let's say $10, $15, it's crazy movement, we're going to stay away. Okay, so avoid volatility. Also, stick with the big boys. We're trying to stick with the well-established companies. And I'm going to show y'all what they look like. Don't y'all worry. And you want to look for stocks that's in a predictable range. And let me give you a cheat sheet on that, okay? To find a stock that's in a predictable range, boring stocks. Just write it down. Just write it down. Boring stocks. Okay, we're going to get into it. Okay, now boom. All right, I need y'all to lock in. The three criteria to look for to ensure that your stock is a low-risk stock. Here's number one. And you can do this research on Yahoo Finance, by the way. Yahoo Finance, they have a free version and then they have a paid version. Just use the free version. Just use the free version. Okay, so number one, the 5-year chart trend. You're going to click on, you'll type in a company. So let's say Apple. In this example, we're going to use Apple. You're going to click on 5-year. Let me tell you what to look for. It's really simple. Uptrend and all green. Write it down. You want to make sure that the chart is uptrend and all green. That's one. Real simple. Real simple. It has to look like you climbing up a mountain. Okay? You climbing up a mountain. All green. Okay, that's one. Two, you have to ensure that the stock offers a dividend. Now, on Yahoo Finance, you will see on the left-hand side of the 5-year chart, it will say forward dividend and yield. If there's anything there, it could be 1%, it could be whatever percent, doesn't really matter. Just make sure that the stock offers a dividend. We just want to make sure it's stable. And when a stock offers a dividend, it just tells me, oh, it's stable. Yep, it's stable. So number two, confirm that the company offers a dividend. All right, y'all ready for number three? Put I'm ready. Just put it in the chat. We're going to move on. Number three. Okay. Number three. This is the last thing that you have to look for to make sure that the stock is a low risk stock to trade. Now, we have the financials. This is still on Yahoo Finance. We're not even going nowhere else. We're using Yahoo Finance. Okay. Now, when you scroll down on Yahoo Finance, there is something called financials, right? And all you want to look for is to make sure that their finances, their revenue is increasing. You just want to make sure that the green bars is increasing every single year. Y'all see it? Y'all see 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. Make sure you climbing up steps, okay? Make sure you climbing up steps. Y'all got me? Okay. So that's three. Now, let's compare. Okay? Let's compare the opposite. This is what I don't want to see. When I'm doing my fundamental research, this is what I don't want to see. I don't want to see downtrend in just red. If you see this, run away. Just run away. Don't even continue your research. Just go ahead and run. We don't care if the stock offers a dividend. We don't care. And the revenue is going to be absolutely horrible with the 5-year picture looking like this. What do we want? Put in the chat. What do we want to see? We want it to be what? Uptrend. Thank you. And all green. Thank you. Now, dividend. If you see on the left-hand side for dividend and yield, we have a dividend. On the right-hand side, there is no dividend. Okay, now, there's no dividend. Got to go. Number three, if the annual revenue looks like we are walking down some steps, or it looked like we walked up a step, then we took a big hop down, then we took a gigantic step back up, baby, it is not stable. We got to run. We got to run. We got to run. Okay? So I want y'all to put in the chat real quick. Just put in the chat real quick. What are the 3 fundamental things that we look for to make sure that the stock is low risk as possible? It will offer a consistent income. Let me know. Okay. I see it. You said upward green. All right. What else? No. Okay. Offers a dividend and 5-year chart. That's what I'm talking about. So now with that being said, y'all got homework. I'm glad y'all understand because you got homework. So this is what I want you to do for homework. Okay. This is what I want you to do. I want you to look in the Dow Jones 30. Just do a little Google search. You'll find it. Just search Dow Jones 30 stock list or S&P 500 stock list. And I want you to find 3 companies that meets the metrics. What we just went over. Okay? I want 3 good companies that's going to pass that test. Y'all hear me? If you hear me, put I hear you. All right. Now tomorrow, baby? Tomorrow, I'm going to teach you how to 10x your income with the cover call strategy. When I say tomorrow is going to be fire, I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. How I grew my account to 6 figures in income, in annual income in 6 months. That's going to be tomorrow. All right.
Woo! How are we feeling? How are we feeling, y'all? You guys got the information. Y'all got the strategy this evening. You guys got the strategy this evening. So go ahead, drop it in the chat. I need to see how we feeling before we move on to the next portion of this evening. What are our thoughts? How are we feeling? Do you feel like I can do that? I can do that. Because I know, look, I know some of us, gems dropped. Exactly. Yes, gems are dropped. Were dropped. All right. I love it. I love it. We're feeling great. I see the fire coming in. Anybody else? What else? Motivated. I love it. I love it. Fired up. Fired up. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Keep it coming. Let me see what else we thinking. What else we feeling, y'all? I need that energy this evening because we're not done. We are not done. All right. Let me see. Let me see it. I love to see it. All right, y'all. Well, we are going to go ahead and move right into the next portion because I hope y'all were paying attention. I hope y'all were paying attention. All right. So before we move on, the team is going to go ahead and get ready to drop the engagement contest link in the chat. All right. You guys have 5 to 10 minutes to complete it. And it is based directly on today's lesson. All right. So if you were paying attention, you got to send it back. Now, if you weren't, I'm trying to figure out why. Okay. If you were paying attention, you will go ahead and you can start getting to work on that because the first two people to get everything right are our winners. Okay. You don't need to leave the session. You can complete the quiz right here. All right. Under the sound of my voice. While you're working on that, I want to go ahead and shift us into something that's important. The team is going to go ahead and drop that link in the chat for you guys because it is one thing to learn the strategy. It's one thing to learn the strategy, but it's another thing to see what happens when someone actually applies the strategy consistently. So I'm going to ask our guest to go ahead and raise her hand so I can bring her up shortly. But I want to introduce you to someone whose story is, y'all, as the kids be doing nowadays. Okay. That story. Okay. I want to introduce you to someone who is sitting exactly where you are right now. Her name is Angela Lane, and Angela joined That Wealth Academy in October of last year. And when she came in, she wasn't brand new. Okay. She had traded off and on for a few years, but this is what's important. She hadn't traded at all in the 3 years prior to joining this community. So while she had a little bit of experience, she didn't have the confidence. All right. Somebody drop confidence in the chat. Drop confidence in the chat. And almost immediately after joining, Angela placed her first covered call trade. And that very first trade brought in $45. Now, I need you to pay attention to what happens after this. She went ahead and continued to use the same covered call strategy that Paris teaches. And without jumping around, without overcomplicating things, or even chasing something new, she was obsessed. Remember, words used that word the other day. She was obsessed. Angela has generated. Remember, October of 2025. We are in January. She has generated $8,180 in just 3 months. And what matters the most is not her dollar amount. It's the fact that she followed a repeatable system, a low risk process that stayed consistent. She stayed consistent. Angela didn't come in thinking she knew all of it, even though she's been here before. She came in willing to relearn. She came in willing to be a student, willing to commit. She placed the trade and she kept showing up. Okay? She placed the trade and she kept showing up. Angela, I'm going to go ahead and if you can go ahead and raise your hand, ma'am, because we want to bring you up so you can tell the people about your story. Oh, did we lose Angela? All right, so what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to pivot a little bit. I will bring Angela back up momentarily, but we're going to pivot a little bit, and we are going to go ahead and give you guys just a moment to finish up your engagement contest. So if you finish that bad boy, write "I'm done" in the chat. Write "done" in the chat. Write "done" in the chat. If you finish that bad boy, write "done" in the chat, please. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and bring up the young lady who has such an amazing, wonderful story. Angela, I know she's transferring on over. Oh. Done. I see y'all in the chat. Okay. Done. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. Done. I love it. Keep it going, y'all. All right, so what we are going to go ahead and do is I want to hear some takeaways from you guys. Just a couple of takeaways. You can drop it in the chat. If you want to go ahead and raise your hand. Just a couple of takeaways for me. Y'all must be typing a whole book over there. Let's see the takeaways, y'all. Slow but steady. Yes, I love it. Slow by steady. Okay. 2 best index to use in the 4 different types of trading. Yes, I love it. I'm mad I didn't learn earlier. Look, Sherman, I'm mad with you. I'm mad with you, okay? Appears simple so far. It is simple, Mary. It is. Consistency, consistency, consistency is key. I love it. I love it. Keep it boring. Okay, Leslie. Takeaways, fundamentals should be low risk, high profit. 100 shares. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's keep it going. All right. So I want to ask you guys something. When should we reinvest the profits? Let's see who was paying attention. When should we reinvest the profits? I see y'all still giving me all your other takeaways. I love it. Right away. Right away. There we go. Do we earn only the premium, y'all? Do we earn only the premium? They said rinse and repeat. That's what I'm talking about. She went over this. All right. So y'all, what I'm going to go ahead and do really quick is I'm going to bring no, we don't. Okay. I see it. I see it. So what we're going to do really quick, y'all, is we are going to go ahead and do some announcements really quick. All right. Before we move into our Q&A session. And then as well as our testimonial with Angela. So I'm going to have one of our team members come on up and do our announcements.
Hey guys, can you all hear me okay? Let's do a tech check. Can you all hear me okay? Can you all hear me okay? Let me hear in the chat. Yes, 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 because tech will not be the end of us today, okay? Angela is going to get up here and you all will hear more about Angela's story. But I want to know if y'all can hear me before I get okay. And there is a lag in the chat. What's going on? Okay, I see the yeses. I see the yeses. Lauren, yes, these are recorded. And because you are VIP, you have lifetime access to the recordings. If you are on YouTube, then you have access to the recordings during the duration of the challenge. Okay. So during the duration of the challenge, if you miss a morning session, if you miss an evening session, that is quite all right because you can go ahead and get the replay. If you want to watch the replay 10 weeks from now, go ahead and upgrade to VIP and we'll go ahead and get that link to you in the YouTube chat. Okay, guys. And so I just want to go over some more admin questions. So if any of you all have more admin questions, definitely ask. I am not one of the coaches, but I am on Paris's team. I run operations. And so I can answer admin type of questions. A lot of them, what I'm seeing in the Facebook group, and we have one of the coaches for Q&A. We'll get to her in a quick second. So as soon as I'm done, we'll head over into Q&A. Guys, VIP, make sure you are writing your questions in the Q&A tab so we can actually see it. If you write it in the chat, it's hard to find it because the chat is chatting, okay? Also, if you want to ask your question to our coach today, go ahead and request to speak and we will bring you on stage and you can ask her audibly instead of having to type your question. So y'all go ahead and do that as I go through these church announcements real quick. So one of the things that I saw in the Facebook group and in the email is people are having a difficult time locating the emails. The emails are going out. We have confirmed tech plenty of times. Please, 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 you all check your spam and promotions folders. If you are in the Facebook group, then if you are in the Facebook group, what I did, I personally posted a video on how to make the spam and promotions emails appear in your inbox and how you can search for the emails. The emails, if you do a quick search for that wealth chick, you can find all the emails. Everyone seems to be getting the text messages and the phone calls. So we want to make sure that everyone has all the links. Also, VIP and general admission and general, we sent out an additional email today with a link to a sheet that has all of the links that you need for this week. So all of the links to access the morning sessions, the evening sessions, the homework, okay, to add the events to your calendars. And so every link you would ever need for this challenge is in that document. Be sure to check your emails, guys, okay? Um, get a part of the Facebook group. We do a lot of announcements in there, and also people are posting their homework and getting very active in the Facebook group. That's also in your email, and that's also reflected on that document that has all of the links available. You click on that and you go ahead and join the Facebook group. That's going to be your best friend during this challenge. Guys, we have 4 more days, okay, including today, of just great game. And I am super excited for what you all are going to learn this challenge. Lauren asks, could we drop the Facebook group? Yes. Yes, we can. I'll go ahead once I finish talking. I'll go ahead and drop the link to Facebook group so you go ahead and join. If you still cannot find emails and you're not getting text messages, but we haven't heard of anyone not getting text messages, go ahead and email support at thatwealthacademy.com. Only if you cannot find the emails after you've searched them. Okay. And so now we are going to go ahead and bring back up our coach, Miss Arla. And we're going to go ahead and enter into the Q&A. So go ahead and start asking your questions. I just started to bring up, who is it? I think someone's coming to the stage, but go ahead and take it, Nella.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, Arla.
Hi.
Hello. Y'all. All right. I hope we got our questions tonight, y'all.
Yes.
I hope we got our questions tonight. I had to give y'all a little talking to this. All right. So I know that we have a bunch of questions while whoever it is that had their hands raised. What is the what's the difference between a stock and a share?
What's the difference between a stock and a share? So you can have one share, but when you do your cover calls, you have to buy 100 shares, which would be considered to be one contract.
Okay. And then what's a contract?
A contract is basically 100 shares. 100 shares equals one contract.
Okay. There we go. All right. Ooh, y'all was commenting. Okay. What was the fourth type of trading? They asked in here, or the 4 types of trading.
Someone asked what the 4 types of trading.
We can pull that back up for you, Sylvia.
Yeah, pull that back up for me.
Okay. Let's see. Paris mentioned talking with her broker. Do we need a broker, or will one be assigned to us once we select a trading platform?
Yes, you will. You will definitely need a broker. I know we kind of talked about it yesterday. E-Trade is a good one. Fidelity and Charles Schwab. I do know that some people use Robinhood. we don't teach that on the platform, and some people use Webull, but I use E-Trade.
Okay, awesome. Will Paris get into showing us how to actually do covered calls or just blanket information? And yeah, how to do cover calls.
Yes, she's going to show you how to do. You're learning this week on how to actually. Today you learned the fundamentals, the 3 fundamentals to follow. But yes, you will learn how to place your cover calls. She's going to give you all the sauce.
Awesome. Okay, let's see. How can you place cover calls?
Well, you're going to place cover calls through your brokerage firm. So again, that will be taught in the course more so. But like I said, you are learning the 3 fundamentals, and then you'll be learning tomorrow OPM, other people's money. So I don't, as far as placing cover calls, you will learn how to, if you know, once you join the platform, because you have to learn how to use the brokerage firms.
Awesome. How is the strike price determined?
How is the strike price determined? I mean, again, that's going to have to be learned within the platform.
Okay. All right. And Monica wants to know, has anyone ever started with a lot less than $5,000, like maybe $500?
Yes, that is possible. Just know that there are 6,000 stocks out there available to trade, as low as $2. So that would be $200, but you have to have 100 shares. So yes, you can start off as low as $2 for per stock or per share.
Okay. Do you let options expire or close out early? Go ahead.
We prefer to have them expire. You place your cover call on that Monday, and on Friday we wait and see what happens. So yes, we want those cover calls to expire.
Awesome. Is the initial investment our own money?
Yes, it's your own money. I do know that tomorrow there's going to be some more sauce being dropped as far as the OPM. So you'll learn about other ways that you can use, to help you get into the market sooner. But yes, you are going to be using your own money.
Awesome. So is a stock and share the same thing? So she kind of already just went over that a couple questions ago. I don't know if you want to reiterate that.
A stock and a share the same thing? I would say, yeah. I mean, let's say you have Apple and you have 1 share. That's 1 share. But if you're going to place a cover call, then it has to be 100 shares.
Okay. I have a Schwab. This is from Nadia. I have a Schwab brokerage account. Can I still use that, or should I close that and use the one you all prefer?
No, you can actually use that as well. There are some people that have E-Trade, Charles Schwab, and Fidelity. So you can have as many brokerage accounts as you want and place cover calls on those as well.
Okay.
So
what criteria should we look for when choosing a broker?
What criteria should we look for when choosing a broker?
Yeah.
I mean, you want to make sure it's a reputable company, and that's why we use E-Trade and Charles Schwab and Fidelity. And they've been around for a very long time. So I believe that when you're looking for a broker, so they don't run off with your money, you want to choose a reputable company.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. She talks about other people's money. Will that be taught this week?
Yes, tomorrow.
All right. Okay. Kisa, so really quick, I'm going to preface before I ask this question. At the end of the day, deciding the brokerage is going to be up to you. So the question is, who is the best brokerage in your opinion?
I would say E-Trade. That's I like the platform. I think it's very user friendly. And you'll find that a lot of other students use it as well. So
Awesome.
the customer service is great. So I like E-Trade.
Okay, Imani wants to know, what stock or stocks are you trading right now?
See, that would be cheating. So you will have to do your research. That's how you're going to learn. You're gonna have to learn how to dig deep and, you know, search for those stocks, search for those fundamentals that Paris is talking about.
Okay. What happens if you have to sell your stock at expiration?
I would say that I have never sold a stock at expiration either. There's a few things that will happen, and you'll learn that later on this week. So I've never had to do that. I just let my cover call expire, and then I kind of figure out what I'm going to do with that on Friday or that following Monday.
Okay. Do you have to have a broker with trading?
Yes. I mean, from how I started, yes. I don't know any other way other than Robinhood. I'm not quite sure if Robinhood is a broker, but yes, for me, it has to be a brokerage firm, a reputable brokerage firm.
Awesome. And does the broker take a certain percentage from your trades?
Yes, they do. So I'll give you an example. If Apple is a popular stock or ticker symbol, let's just say the stock is $5,000 that you're going to invest in, and then you receive your premium. Obviously, you're going to pay some type of commission fee. So it could be like 65 cents, the most I've saw. Sometimes it could be a little bit more than that, but about 65 cents. And that'll be per how do I say this? So if you're using Apple or Nvidia, you're going to pay 65 cents per company. If you choose to place more than one cover call.
Okay, awesome. Now I'm going to ask this question. This is another question. So when it comes to like the percentage or the amount that they take from your trades, is there a cap that they're allowed to, like, they can't go past that you may know of?
That part I'm not quite sure of. I just know that once you do place that cover call, you're going to see at the bottom, you'll see the commission fees.
Okay. Awesome. All right. What is the benefit of using multiple brokers?
Well, I will tell you this. I have one brokerage, and that's only E-Trade, but you can use multiple brokerage firms, and every single one of those accounts have to have at least 100 shares in order to place a cover call.
Okay. So is a broker and a brokerage firm the same thing?
Yes.
Awesome. And Rafina, so Arla already kind of answered this. Can you place covered calls on Robinhood? You can, if you want to revisit that.
Yes, you can place cover calls on Robinhood. That's a personal choice for you. I know that some people use Webull as another trading platform, but we don't use Robinhood. But you can if you want. You absolutely can.
Awesome. All right. And then, do we skip earnings week?
Do we skip earnings week? I do. I skip earnings week. Some people don't, but I do. I kind of sit on my hands and wait to see what happens. So yes, I skip earnings week. I would highly recommend that you skip earnings week.
So what is the benefit of skipping earnings week, in your opinion?
You just want to see what's going to happen with the news, what's going to happen with that stock, if it's going to go up or down. Usually it goes back and rebound, but I wouldn't want to be in the middle of that. I would just hold off and wait.
Okay. And what is going back and rebound?
Rebound meaning if the stock goes down, you obviously want it to have the fundamentals. You want it to go back up. That's what I mean. You don't want your gains to go down. You want your capital gains to go up.
Awesome. All right. Are dividends typically significant, and is the income reported on a 1099?
Dividends are given out like 4 times a year. It is a 1099B form that's going to be provided to you through your brokerage account at the end of the year. So hopefully I answered that question.
Yeah. Okay. If we are trading stock, would you need a tax professional to help file your taxes? I have easy taxes now, but wonder if trading stock will make it difficult to file taxes.
No, just know that. I hope I didn't cut you off, but yes, you do have to pay taxes on your covered calls. It's a significantly lower than paying regular taxes that you would pay throughout the year. And just know that at the end of the year, which we're at the beginning of the year, the brokerage firm will upload a 1099-B tax form, and then you'll download that and give it to your tax professional. And they'll take it from there.
Awesome. I believe, okay, I had a couple other questions in here for the good people. If you want to come on and be audible and speak to Arla, you are more than welcome. All you have to do is raise your hand and we will bring you up on stage. So Arla, I want to ask, if profits show up instantly, can we withdraw the same day if we want?
Yes, you can. Well, it depends. So for me, I'm with E-Trade. I have a, obviously when you place the cover call, you're going to receive that premium. That premium is received the moment you place that cover call. Now, for instance, I have E-Trade. I have a debit card, so I can go swipe right away. Go give me some gas. But unfortunately, I don't touch my investments right now. I reinvest. But for people who don't have a debit card, it'll take one business day and you can transfer it out to your bank.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Coquita up.
Okay.
She is coming on up. Let's see. Let's see if she's there. No, I don't see her yet. Okay. Up there you are, Coquita. Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm good. So I wanted to know, I heard her saying something like about a fifth, and I kind of tapped out. I think she said that she put 5,000 in the account, and if I'm not mistaken, she did 1,000 for the cover calls, or she did 1,000 and did 200 for the cover calls. I'm not 100% sure what I heard.
Are you talking about what Paris was talking about?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Ask that question one more time.
She was saying that I think she put 5,000 in the brokerage account, and I think she used 1,000, somewhat give or take, for the cover call. I cannot remember exactly what she said, but it was a percentage, like basically like a fifth. So is it like, so whatever you put in, would you be using a fifth of it for the cover call? So if you put in 1,000, would you be using 200, like, which is a fifth for the cover call, or was I mistaken? Because I didn't really hear what she said.
I think you might be mistaken. If I'm correct, she's talking about investing. So let's just say she bought Apple and she invested $5,000 on that Friday. Are you trying to figure out what's going to happen with that $5,000?
No, what I was thinking she was saying was if she put basically 5,000 into a brokerage account, that she would only be using, and don't let me confuse anybody, please, because I really didn't hear what she said. That's why I'm asking. Is if she would be taking a fifth of that and putting into a cover call to buy the 100 shares. I was wondering if that's
it's possible. I mean, I get what you mean. You could have 10,000 in there and only use 1,000.
Okay,
it depends on how much the stock price is. Like if it's like $35 per share, and you do the math on that, it shouldn't total up to like 5,000. I don't think. I had to do the calculation on it, but
okay,
you still have some money left over.
I was just confused. Tapped out for a second, and when I came back, that's what she said, and I was trying to make sure. So basically, you're putting the whatever funds you would like in there, but you're making sure that you're able to cover the 100 shares that she basically asked for you to cover.
That is correct. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Excuse me, y'all. All right, so let's see. I know we had somebody else in the chat. Get on over here. that had a question. To be okay, Casey, I'm gonna try to ask this. How much, Casey, I'm gonna need you to retype that, please, because I'm not 100% sure how to ask that question. Okay. Okay, so Wakil says, will there be in the course a class on how to use Think or Swim?
No, we don't use Think or Swim in the platform. The only platforms that we use that Paris recommends is E-Trade, Charles Schwab, or Fidelity. So those are the only ones that we use right now at the moment.
There we go. And then the last question we're going to have is there a limit? Oh, we have two. Well, Mary. Okay. Is there a limit on how much you can spend on the card per day?
That's a good question. I would say no. If you have the funds available, you should be able to use it. But I will tell you that one thing in the platform, that we talk about, you could always call your brokerage and you can find that out. They'll give you that answer. Awesome. But I have never heard anybody said there was a limit on how much that they can use from their brokerage account.
And then how many, you can choose to answer or not, but how many contracts do you have?
Oh my goodness. I have a lot. I have quite a bit.
Okay.
Like I said, I rinse and repeat.
I love it. I love it. All right, y'all. Well, throw some love, some fire in the chat for Arla. Arla, we greatly appreciate you.
Thank you.
You are so amazing for coming.
Questions for tonight as well.
Thank you. We greatly appreciate you for coming through and answering these questions. Y'all, once again, throw some love, some fire, some money bags in the chat for Arla, and she'll be back again.
Yes, I will.
Be back again. All right. So, y'all, what we are going to do right now is we are going to go ahead and transition to the end of the evening. Okay. But first, we got a couple winners that we need to announce, y'all. We have a couple winners we need to announce. So please help me in congratulating Sarah Moffat and Milton Betts. Congratulations. You both are our winners for this evening. Congratulations. A round of applause for you guys. All right. But y'all, this evening, I know you guys were anticipating Angela to come on up. So we will bring her up because you look, technology be technology in, okay? But we don't have control over that, unfortunately. So we are going to go ahead and bring Angela up later on this week, okay? And honestly, that is perfectly fine. That is perfectly fine because today wasn't about watching someone else's results, okay? Today was about understanding the strategy, okay? And you now have it. You have it in your hand. Paris gave it to you guys. You learned how this works. You understand the process. You saw the structure. She gave y'all the math. The math was mathing, okay? So what determines your outcome from here at this point isn't whether you heard the lesson. It's whether you decide to apply it and actually apply it. A testimonial is proof that the strategy works. Arla is proof that the strategy works, but your execution is what makes it yours. Okay? So I'm going to leave you guys with this evening is that tonight, decide what you're going to do with what you learned today. Arla gave us some great insight in Q&A. Paris gave us the strategy. So I want you to decide, what are you going to do today? Not tomorrow, not later this week, not by the end of the month, not when your birthday comes around or once the taxes come in. Tonight. What are we doing tonight? Are you going to treat this just like information we're going to leave in our notebooks? Look, y'all, I'm a notebook junkie. Are we just going to leave it in our notebooks and put it on the bookshelf and let it collect dust? Or are you going to treat it like it's a turning point? Because most people will not fail because they didn't get the knowledge. They fail from hesitation. They fail from lack of application. The only way you get the wisdom, the only way you turn the knowledge into wisdom is by applying it. And the hesitation usually ends up sounding like, I'll wait. I need to watch the replay again. I'll start when I feel more confident. Guess what? Confidence comes after the action, not before it. Once you start taking the action, once you start doing the things, that's when your confidence starts to kick in. Oh, I can do this. Oh, this isn't as hard as I thought it was. All right. So if you are, well, not if, first and foremost, tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have our wealth breakthrough call once again with Where's Taylor. All right. And I know he snatched some edges this morning. Okay. So make sure y'all go ahead and get some Miracle Grow or something. Put it back on there because we back at it tomorrow. And then tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have our general session. And then if you're inside VIP, remember, we will be back at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for live Q&A. All right. That is where you can ask your questions. That's where you can get your clarity and make sure you're applying this correctly. If you're not VIP yet, the team is still going to drop the link in the chat for you so you can join us. Okay. We still have some time for you to ask questions, but the only way you can get your questions answered is if you're here in the room. Okay. So come tomorrow, ready to get your day started off right. Come to the general session so that you can get the information and be ready for Q&A so that you can move. We will bring Angela back for the testimonial when the timing is right for you guys. And what matters right now in this moment is that you have the strategy. What are you going to do with it? All right. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.